Last time I saw them was Christmas Day. I spent the dinner with my dad and the rest of the day with my mum, so it was a rare opportunity to actually experience Christmas with both of them since the divorce. It was nice to see the whole family again. Yeah, I love my family, but I don't feel like we talk enough. Especially me and my dad.
Quality time as a family has been extremely limited between me, you and your mum. We've never really had the opportunity to sit down and have a good discussion about Joe.
Do you hold a grudge against your parents because they didn't talk to you about it?
A little bit. A little bit.
Why?
I feel like I have a right to know.
You do have a right to know he was your brother.
It just takes you back.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to go back.
That's his pregnancy test. And it still says positive after all these years. I sent this to your dad. I faxed it over to the hotel that he was staying at. With, "Hey Daddy, it's me." Everything was fine. Everything was great. Normal pregnancy, just carried on. Everything was marvellous.
Flowers and cards and all sorts of flowers, cards and things were arriving from all over the world to congratulate us about, the birth of Joe.
There's nothing like it. You fall in love instantly. Mm-hmm. There was this tiny, tiny little pink wriggly thing, and it was mine. We stayed in hospital again on the Wednesday because he was much smaller, but he wasn't put into an incubator or anything. He was quite, everybody thought he was quite healthy.
I'd actually put "Welcome Home, Mum and Son" banners on the outside of the house.
He woke up about 2 in the morning. So I thought I'd just take him downstairs, away from Dad. He's my baby, came out of my body. And that's one of the good things about being mum, is that there's things that nobody else can do. And I cuddled him and played with him and changed him and did all the things that I'd done all day, but it was just us, and talked to him and sang to him and things like that.
The next day I was off to go and play golf at a pretty famous golf course down in London, Wentworth. Mm-hmm. And people were coming to obviously pick me up in the morning. I think that was more like a celebration of Joe's birth, etc., etc.
And then all hell broke loose. So I got up and I picked him up, and he didn't move. Nothing moved. His jaw was set, rigid. I thought, that's not right. So instinct kicked in, and I picked him up and I screamed at him, "Wake up! Joe, wake up!" And I shook him, not hard. "Wake up!" Nothing happened. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Your dad comes in from outside. He was outside having a cigarette, waiting for his friend to turn up. Mm-hmm. What the hell's going on? I said, "Joe's not breathing." He went grey, and he just stood there. I said, "Go outside and wait for the ambulance." 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's not working. What I'm thinking is, don't be dead, don't be dead, don't be dead, don't be dead. It's going to be all right, it's going to be all right, it's going to be all right. The car was silent. I couldn't believe it, and I just kept saying, no, 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 this can't be happening. And they cut it off him. And that was it. And that was the start of the worst pain I've ever been in. I'd go through that labour 1,000 times every single day of my life, not so that I don't have to go through the pain that's now in my heart and will never go away.
You're supposed to die before your son.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember what it was that Joe died of?
He had a pulmonary hemorrhage. Of course, I didn't know what a pulmonary hemorrhage was, but in essence, I've looked at his internal organs were too small to basically breathe on his own or survive.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, what about that funeral? What was it?
I can remember one thing. I can remember a little white coffin.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I can remember. And that's all I want to remember.
Do you miss him?
Of course. I miss him growing up. Or, all the things that you went through. So you miss that whole period. Schooling, camper vanning, holidaying, university, blah, 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 blah. You'll always miss that.
Mm-hmm. What would you hope he would be doing now? Because he'd be 23.
No, he'd be an engineering manager like his dad.
Yeah.
An IT director like his dad. You've obviously taken the creative side like your mum, but there you go.
About 6 months later, my arms were empty. The plan was to have 2 boys. I need to have my other boy. I'm ready.
Mm-hmm.
15th of November 1996 you were conceived. Your dad worked away, so it was pretty good. It was pretty easy to actually pinpoint the...
That's a bit more information than I needed. This is going to be quite a hard question to ask, and I'm going to have to put some context. So Joe has been a kind of overarching shadow in my life for quite a long time. And the thing that started that was you. It was a new year, and we were driving home, and somehow we'd started talking about it. And you'd had a fun night, you were a bit drunk, and I asked, jokingly, "Oh, am I just a replacement for Joe?"
Mm.
And you turned around and went, "Well, yes."
I think, well, first of all, I think you may have taken it out of context. I think you never be a replacement for Joe Guy. Joe was Joe, Guy is Guy. Mm-hmm. So you'll never ever be a replacement. But then, in some respects, how am I going to answer this?
It's okay.
You're not a replacement, but you're something that came into our lives after we'd lost something very special. So that's not being a replacement, because you're you, and Joe's Joe. Mm-hmm. But I guess what I'm trying to say is there was a void in my life, and I think a void in your mum's life too. So with you coming along, I don't want to say you were a replacement, but you were what we wanted at the beginning of our marriage and the beginning of starting the family.
Kind of like, obviously, it was a long time ago, and to my knowledge, you don't really remember saying it. But if you can try and cast your mind back, do you have any idea why you would maybe phrase it like that?
I can't remember saying it, but that's a cop-out. If I said it and it hurt you, I apologise.
Thank you. Because of obviously what was said, and maybe I did take it out of context, and you know, but it created this almost.
You've got to be as good as Joe.
Not only do I have to be as good as Joe, I have to be, well, not only better, but I have to live up to the expectations that you had for not only me, but you also had for him.
You're doing okay, guy.
Would you have still had me if Joe had survived?
I hope so. I think the answer is yes, but I'm glad we did. I hope so. But that's quite a strange question, because if he had survived, you don't know what would have happened. I may have not come to Scotland. I may have, you know, things may have changed. I don't know, but I would have hoped so. That's the only answer I can give. You're welcome. No bugger off. No, you can't. You need to live your life, and I want you to live your life. You don't need to live Joe's life. He's an important part of our life, but you need to live your life.